host of the Gridiron.
Now the Giants, they got this decision, right? I mean, quite possibly, I would be rather shocked if they did not pick up Kayvon's fifth-year option. Be shocked about that. But they would have to, apparently, if they're going to pick up Neal's fifth-year option, because they got to do that within the next couple months, declare if they're going to pick it up or not. That's going to cost them $16 million next year. And I think that's all guaranteed. So, I mean, that's a nice little chunk of change. Yeah, that they're going to have to come up with for Mr. Neal. Let's see here. All right. Once I got 37,000 tabs open up here. Hold on. That's it. There we go. All right. Do the Giants have another, actually, my bad, 16.685, so almost $16.7 million for a former first-round pick. Giants thought enough of offensive tackle Evan Neal to make him the 7th selection in the 2022 NFL Draft. They are scheduled to pay him $4.053 million during the 2025 season, which, I mean, for pick number 7 in the draft, especially if he's you're starting even guard or tackle, that's a bargain. $4 million. But do they still think enough of the former Alabama All-American to guarantee Neal $16.685 million for the 2026 season? All guaranteed. It's a question the Giants will answer in the next 2 months. Like all first-round picks, Neal signed a 4-year contract with a team option for the 5th season of his original $24.551 million deal. Neal still has a $1.1 million base salary and a $2.95 roster bonus due the 3rd day of training camp coming in 2025. New York will have to decide to use its 5th-year option before Neal gets that money, though. The deadline to exercise the option is May 1st. There you go. So basically, we got it's about 2 months, right? And if the Giants pick it up, they will guarantee Neal is getting $16.685 million payday for the 2026 season. So I'll tell you what, boy, if they're going to do that, and they're going to pick him up, that dude better be starting someplace. He better be on that offensive line starting someplace. Neal's 3-year tenure with New York began with 7 straight starts and ended with 7 straight starts until he missed the Giants 2024 season finale because of hip and rib injuries. But in between, Neal missed 22 of the Giants' 44 regular season games. After missing 4 games in 2022 and 10 games in 2023, Neal had ankle surgery on January 2nd, 2024. Spent the first 3 weeks of the training camp on the physically unable to perform list and opened the season as the backup to free agent signee Jermaine Illuminor at right tackle. Neal returned to the starting spot on November 10th when Illuminor had to move to left tackle for Andrew Thomas, who got injured. With the NFL's announcement of a $279.2 million salary cap for 2025, $23.8 million more than the 2024 season, came the price tags of the 5th-year options for the first-round selections in the 2022 NFL Draft. Neal's $16.685 million is the average of the 3rd through 25th highest starters among offensive linemen over the past 5 seasons. 5th-year options come in 4 designations, and Neal is in the most inexpensive of the tiers. Thank goodness. The levels include players who have been selected for at least 2 Pro Bowls on the original ballot for the All-Star event. Players who have been selected for 1 Pro Bowl on the original ballot. Players who have not been Pro Bowlers but have played at least 75% of the offensive or defensive snaps in 2 seasons or 50% of the overall snaps in 3 seasons. Players who have not reached the Pro Bowl or the playing time standards is the level number 4, and that's where Neal sits. Neal barely missed landing in the third tier, 50% of the overall snaps in 3 seasons, which would have pushed his 2026 price to $17.56 million. Neal played 1,656 snaps in the Giants, 3,364 offensive snaps over the past 3 seasons. He came up 26 short of playing half the New York Giants offensive snaps, 26 snaps short. So if Neal had played in 26 more offensive snaps over 3 seasons, right, it would have cost. They picked up his 5th-year option, would have cost him almost like $750,000 more. Whew. But since the thing is with Neal, right? I mean, this could be Carmen Basillo, right? Might have done a very good job, right? His overall offensive grade, okay, was a 61.2. His pass, his run blocking, 80.8. Let me say, his first 2 seasons, his run blocking, 48.1 in 2022, 51.1 2023. This past season, he had 145 run blocking snaps. He graded at 80.8. You don't get much better than that. Unfortunately, his pass blocking was a 49.6. His rookie season was a 42.3 pass blocking. Then he actually took a step backwards in his second season, 38.5 pass blocking. 49.6 is his pass blocking this past season. So for the combination, he graded out a 61.2 overall. Let's see. 2023 graded out a 39.8 overall. His rookie season, 41.8 overall. So, I mean, he did take a nice step forward. That is for sure. So it's going to be a big, decision on their part, obviously. Yeah, that's a big chunk of change. Yeah, you pick him up, right? The freaking dude better be on the field playing somewhere, right? I just don't quite understand why, unless they have some magical potion or formula, or whatever, or they got some magical crystal ball where they can look into the future and think, well, we'll just keep having him do these certain drills or whatever, and he'll get better on his feet, and he'll be able to pass protect. I don't know. He's, I don't know. I don't know. I just gotta be honest, right? Why, he keeps struggling at tackle, at pass protection. Why don't you try to move the guy in a guard? So, I mean, that's what the Eagles did with Mekhi Becton, right? He, maybe didn't have the best success at tackle. They moved him in a guard, and he graded, I think it was like a 70 overall. Not bad. One thing you did see, Neal, there were times Neal was just like putting dudes on the ground, just straight up killing guys. In the run game, right? One of the problems is, of course, is that, when you're 3-14, usually you're behind and, you're down by 75 points. You're not, hey, let's establish the run. Let's get Evan Neal, get some good pancake blocks out there. So let's run the ball. Let's chew up the clock. We're down by 75 points. No, usually you're trying to throw the football, and he's still kind of having troubles out there, out wide. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what the Giants going to do. Once again, it would just be another laughing stock. The Giants would have let the 7th overall pick go. Become a free agent. And then, of course, exactly what you said there, Benny. It's like, without question. You can see him. If the Giants were to let Evan Neal go, he would go someplace. There's some teams that have some very good offensive line coaches. I could see really the Eagles picking him up, and their offensive line, Jeff Stoutland, I think his name is. He's a very, very good coach. I could see them bringing him in, putting him in a guard, and he would be probably freaking fantastic blocker. Did you see him block him to Saquon? Oh, man, he'd be pancaking mofos out there. Oh, man, he'd be killing people out there for Saquon. Oh, man. So, once again, that would just be another laughing stock, something that the Giants would do. Release the 7th overall pick in the draft from 2022, and he goes out, signs with another team, and he becomes an all-pro. You can see that. Absolutely, without any doubt.